Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon as I'm doing this reading, and I have the Radiant Wise Spirit tarot deck on the tarot table. It's just an ordinary Rider-Waite tarot, and I'm going to be looking at the story that has broken on social media in places that are somewhat obsessed with Harry and Meghan. The stories that we're all following, the places that citizen journalism, that those kinds of places where citizens go digging around and report their findings. And their reporting of findings has come today from the Royal Grift. She has a YouTube channel, very good YouTube channel. She's been digging around and she has uncovered an old interview with Enty from Sedan, Celebrity Days and Nights, which is a gossip site. And he posts quite a lot of gossip about the illiterate actress, or whatever he calls her. And he was having a chat with someone, and on it, he said that the US taxpayers are paying for Harry and Meghan's security. Reason being that Harry is in the line of succession. He is in line to be head of state, and now Archie and Lilibet are too, also in the line of succession. And so the US is under some sort of international law obligation to support them and pay, well, not support them, but cover their security costs while they are in the US. And according to Enty, the same would apply in the UK. So, that set the cat among the pigeons, because Donald Trump was very clear when they escaped from Britain and fled to Canada and then moved to the US. Donald Trump was very certain that he was not going to be paying their security costs. He made an announcement to that effect. And of course, there is the court case in the UK, Harry bringing judicial review proceedings to force a different kind of decision. They, of course, took away his security in the UK when he stopped being a working royal and he fled, he exited. And that decision is under review while Harry is trying to force the issue into some sort of review and a rethink and a new decision made about all of that. So, we want to know what's going on. We're using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. As I said, this was quite an old interview. It was long before court cases, long before all of that. So I'm going to just check. I'm going to find out what's going on using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. We're going to see, are Harry and Meghan struggling with those security costs? A lot of people speculate that they might be in some degree of financial trouble. So how expensive is this security? People are tossing around numbers like $3 million a year. Are they struggling to pay? Is the US government, and therefore the US taxpayer, is the US government actually paying for their security? Is the British government paying for their security at some level? And then I want to know about the court case, because people are speculating that the court case isn't about money and isn't really about that 24-hour security that Harry and Meghan want. That it might be about something else. Some people are saying they want security information, they want inside info, so perhaps they can dox people. They might want immunity from criminal proceedings if they get IPP status. Apparently that's one of the perks of getting IPP status. So if there is some wrongdoing at some stage, they're immune. So those could be reasons for the court case. Then I also want to know if they are genuinely at risk. How valid is this concern that they have, that they're forever bleating about? Are they really, according to universe, objectively, are they justified in being so anxious about their security? Is there some risk to them? And then our outcome will be quite a loose outcome. Basically, I want to know what's going to happen, but really who will end up carrying the can for their security costs, their astronomical security costs. Royal Grift was saying that even, I think it was her, even when Harry was at a Better Up conference recently, he was there with his workmates, his colleagues, an event organized by the company that he is a chimpo of. He was there with 4 burly security, guys. I think we saw that with a French investigative journalist who was trying to talk to Harry, and he got kicked out. So I think that's where that comes from. But anyway, here we go. We're going to look at the security story, make sure I've got the right number of cards out. Yes, I do. That's the outcome, and then we'll get the underlying energy. And of course, let us remind you that this is tarot for fun, entertainment, or speculation, or my opinion. We read on royals here. We can learn from archetypes. We read archetypal energy, and disclaimer in the box below. Underlying energy is the Page of Cups in reverse. That's somebody who's upset, somebody who's not getting their way, somebody who wants perhaps an apology, somebody who didn't get the apology that they wanted, didn't get the treatment that they thought they deserved, didn't get the hand of friendship. Page of Cups upright is an expression of loyalty, of love, of devotion, of friendship. In reverse, none of that stuff happening, basically. So feeling cut off, feeling isolated, feeling miserable. I'm getting self-pity from the Page of Cups as our underlying energy. Dogs having a shout out in the garden, and but generally self-pity, interestingly. From that card. So just the general situation, please. What are we dealing with here? We're dealing with a Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Fate going against someone, turning against someone, bad luck. And that would be Harry and Meghan feeling that since Megxit, things have not been going their way. They did not expect the outcome of that Sandringham summit when the Queen and Prince Charles, he was then Prince Charles, and Prince William said, all right, you want to go, bye-bye. Off you go, taking your security away, and all the perks of being royals all gone, off you go. And they did not expect that. This Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's been calamitous for them. That is the sense that I'm getting from the energy of that card, that they really felt like it was a shock. It's almost tower-like, the Wheel of Fortune in its energy that I'm sensing, that they just couldn't believe how things turned out, how badly things went and have been going since. Despite all the Netflix and Spotify and Penguin Random House and Chimpo and all the rest of it, this is a fundamental twist in the tale that they never ever expected. So how expensive is their security? Just generally. How expensive is it? I'm getting 3 of Pentacles. That's not top dollar, but very interesting. What did I say? 3 million a year. People are speculating. I think it's only a year. It surely can't be a month. But anyway, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But we're getting 3s. We're not getting 10s, but 3s. So that 3 million figure, whether it's per year, per month, or whatever it is, per day, I'm being silly. It's 3s. And it's something, because a 3 is card of teamwork and cooperation and collaboration and all of that, working with a group. It's a group, it's a team that rotates, and obviously they're going to have people on shifts and people who travel with them and people who stay at home and stuff like that. So they have a team around them. It's not as if Meghan has a bodyguard and Harry has a bodyguard and that's it. They have teams because they're in different places all the time. They're all allegedly not even living together. Some people speculate about that. So yeah, a team, and an expensive team. 3s. 3s definitely involved. Are they struggling to pay? Is it easy for them to finance, or are they struggling to actually meet these bills? We know that they allegedly struggled to pay their PR bill with Sunshine Sachs. 6 of Wands in reverse. This is a defeat card. They can't do it. I think they set off very, very boldly, very confidently. They set off on their freedom flight, thinking that everything was going to be wonderful and that they were heroic, and foreign states would roll out the cavalry, or you don't roll out cavalry, but send out the cavalry basically to greet them and protect them. Canada said, no thanks, we're not going to do that. The Canadian people rose up and said, no, hell no. and so off they had to go. Donald Trump, as I recall, said, no, hell no. So this has been a defeat for them, and an embarrassment also, I want to say, with the Six of Wands in reverse, because the Six of Wands is quite a narcissistic card. It's quite egotistical when it's upright, and when it's in reverse, it's a face plant, basically. Being embarrassed in public, being humiliated, the indignity of it, of having to scrounge around and pass the hat around, and please, maybe going to Tyler Perry, can we borrow a bodyguard, hiring, they don't seem to have the most accomplished security. There was the scandal of the Michael Jackson bodyguard, who apparently had a bit of a bad rep. Struggling. Definitely struggling. So let's move on to the core of this reading. US taxpayers, US government paying for this behind the scenes sneakily that nobody really knows about. I've got the Temperance card in reverse, and that's something that causes disharmony, and it's the angel upright, the angel that's tempering a situation, modifying a situation, healing a situation, bringing balance to a situation. But it's in reverse. The angel in reverse turns into the devil. I think that there is a possibility that NT is onto something here, that behind the scenes there could be something devilish going on, secrets, lies. There is a definite possibility with Temperance card in reverse that something would cause upset, would cause even outrage if people knew about it, with the Temperance card in reverse. So it's definitely possible, in my opinion, energy of the cards. UK government, is the UK government shelling out for Harry and Meghan behind the scenes that we don't know about? The Hermit in reverse, I don't think so. The Hermit is Harry. So the first thing that I've got to address is that's the Harry card, the Hermit, the Virgo card in reverse. I don't think so. I think that he really has been cut off. Hermit is about isolation. Okay, the card is in the reverse, but I think this is extreme isolation, that Harry has been cut off because it's his card and his card in the reverse. So we're getting somebody who's really been isolated, who has taken some bad advice. The Hermit card is always about guidance. It can be your own inner guidance, your inner wisdom, but it can also mean following, going for counseling, therapy, that kind of thing, help. And it's telling me he has perhaps followed some bad advice. He's taken some bad advice, no doubt from the wife's advisors, those kinds of people who said, oh, it will be fine. Make the leap. Across the Atlantic, and they'll never cut you off. It'll be brilliant. You'll get your half in, half out. You'll still be royaling. You can still wear your uniform and your medals and all that stuff. You can still go to Trooping the Colour and ride in carriages and get all those lovely things. You'll still get your security paid for, but you can have better things in America, opportunity to make billions and be the most popular royal that ever was, and out-royal the royals back home and really be the king of the world. That was a little rant and an unnecessary rant, but the Hermit in reverse is telling me Harry is upset. Harry has been cut off. He has been isolated. He has either followed his own foolish of guidance, his own inner voice that has led him astray here. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. And either done that, or he has followed someone else's bad advice. So that's that. Tell us about the court case now. Is the court case really, like it says on the box, it's about money, it's about funding, it's about give me back my full-time security when I'm in the UK? Is it about that, or is it about something else? Is it about maybe getting information, classified information? Is it about protecting themselves from consequences down the line? What is it about? Ace of Cups. It's emotional. It ties in with this Page of Cups as our underlying energy. There they are. There's the cup. There's the cup. He's very upset. I said self-pity. This is the pity thing that's being played again. He's trying to tug at people's heartstrings. Diana's son, who had to walk behind her coffin, she was chased, hounded to her death by paparazzi. She was constantly at risk. Royals stripped her HRH and took away her security. They didn't. She, as far as I understand it, chose not to have ongoing protection. I could be wrong. Again, please let me know in the comments if I am wrong about that. But as far as I understand it, it was her choice. It was her decision. And then, of course, security was provided by Mohammed Al Fayed on that critical and tragic holiday that time in Paris. But this is trying to play the pity card, trying to make people feel sorry for him and Meghan too could end up like Diana. There's been quite a lot of that narrative around about we don't want her also to die, and Harry has said that explicitly. Whether it's in Spare or in interviews, that this is why he's doing it. He doesn't want his wife to suffer the same fate as his mother. Understandable at a certain level, but also irrational at another level, in my opinion. Somebody who has not dealt with trauma properly, somebody who hasn't made the correct adjustments and doesn't see the situation objectively, doesn't necessarily see what was going on when Diana was in that car crash and what her decisions caused and all that kind of stuff, but also doesn't see that Meghan herself isn't being followed by paparazzi wherever she goes. She has to really call them out. She has to phone back grid. She has to tell them where they're going to be. There's the one photographer there. We've seen it very recently. There's not hordes of them. They don't hound her. They don't keep her at home. Camilla had more trouble. Catherine had more trouble with the paparazzi by far than Meghan Markle ever has. But there is the pity card. So it's not sinister. It is simply trying to... he wants people to feel sorry for him and her. So are they really at risk objectively? He thinks they are. She, whatever she thinks, she is certainly encouraging him to think that they are both at risk. Are they really at risk? Are they at risk? I've got the 9 of Wands, and I'm going to interpret that card as saying that it is their sense of wrongdoing, that it's subjective, not objective. I'm not seeing someone here who is 10 of Swords or something like that. There are ways of depicting harm. 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords even. 9 of Wands is when somebody is feeling embattled. They're feeling battered and bruised. And because it's Wands, I'm going to say that this is more about reports about them that they're finding uncomfortable. Press writing articles about them that criticize them, people on social media criticizing them, that kind of thing, that they themselves are feeling under attack, that they're feeling battered and bruised, and it's very difficult for them, and they have had to put up the security. These 9 Wands is putting up a barrier, putting up a boundary around themselves, protecting themselves from the hostile energy from outside. But I'm not getting the sense that there is genuine danger. I'm getting the sense from this card, and it is purely my interpretation, and you could read this card differently. I'm reading it in the light of these 2 cards here. My interpretation of this energy, my opinion, is that it's more their perspective, that they feel that they are under attack. They're under siege, basically, 9 of Wands. And this is what is troubling them. And universe is saying it's their perspective, not necessarily what is really going on. That's how I'm interpreting it. Again, as I say, you could read that card differently. And the outcome, whatever information universe wants to give us, perhaps who is going to end up paying. There does seem to be something going on here in the US that NT might be onto. Who's going to end up? What's going to end up happening? We've got the World, and it could mean that The court case goes very well for Harry. He gets his security back in the UK. It's reinstated. It's a successful outcome. So something that I would say they are happy about. The Parkles are happy about. That they are going to, at some level, succeed in what they are trying to achieve, which is getting security paid for when they are in the UK. It is already there. When they are back, they're back on royal property. It's not as if there isn't security there already. So I don't think this is that big a deal. But a happiness, a successful outcome of something. A lot of protection in this world card. The laurel wreath around here, the victory, which is at the moment down here in the Six of Wands. A loss of face and humiliation, embarrassment. But at some level, it's going to, I think, come right for them. And I would think that it's going to be about the UK. I think that's good enough. I was going to clarify it, but I don't think I need to. I think that at some level, they're going to be very pleased with how things unfold for them in terms of security. And it would be UK security. It wouldn't be US security, although there is that eagle there. Let's just say, but we've got a lion here as well. The world, I just have to say, they could succeed with their IPP status because it is a global thing. And it could be that they actually get that. And I hate saying that because I don't think it's deserved. I don't think it's fair. But yeah, it's the world. And that IPP status is global, internationally protected person. It could well be that that is what they get. In which case, you know where your tax dollars and your tax pounds are going, and anyone else in the world who has to host Harry and Meghan in future, any country that has to host them in future, will be carrying the can for their security costs. Interesting. And yeah, one of those readings where the outcome is very good for them, not so pleasing for anyone who thinks that they don't deserve it. So there it is. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll hop on to the next one.